calculator shows. All right, so let's have a, Okay, so today we're still looking at the straight lines or linear graphs. So yesterday we're talking about straight lines or linear graphs. So we know we've seen these before, and we have like the y and the x-axis. The reason I'm only really drawing that part of the axis is, as I said yesterday, that's the main quadrant or section of the graph that we will deal with now and next year. So we have a straight line, and we're looking at straight lines. So a straight line has a basic formula. Now you're used to seeing it being y equals mx plus c, where we know that this m value was the gradient and the c value was the y-intercept. Okay, so we're still going to be using that sort of basic formula, except we will not use the letters M and C anymore. You'll see we're now going to use these letters, B. So B is the gradient. So now we're going to say the B is the gradient. And also now with our maths, we won't probably refer to it as the gradient. We're going to talk about it more as being the slope. And sometimes you'll hear it referred to as a rate, because we'll talk about practical applications. All right, the other thing we'll look at is the A, and the A value. See how it'll be a number by itself, just like the C is up there. So that's what it is. The A value is the y-intercept. So that would be this number up there. That would be the A value. Okay, so when the formula is written, or you have and it's written with, say I wrote 4 plus 8x, that's in intercept slope form. So where we know that this is the slope, that's the b value. So now we're going to call that b. And this is that 4 would be the A or the y-intercept. Yeah, the A value and the y-intercept. So exactly the same, still all the same rules would apply. If you wanted to find the B, like the gradient, you can still do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or you could do rise over run. They still all work. We're just using different letters to represent it. Okay, so it says write down the intercept and the slope of each of these straight lines defined by the equation. So we're just really making sure that you understand which one's the gradient or the b value and which one's the a value. So here, which one's the one multiplying with the x? That will be the b. So it's a 9, and the a value is the number by itself, which is -6. Okay, in the next one, the b value is -5. The a value or the intercept is 10. Yeah, so we might just, and then the last one, or this one has a b value of -2, and we would say the a value is 0. There is actually no, it's 0. It's going through 0, 0. So in this graph, just to be careful, in this graph, it's going through like that. Well, it's actually negative, so it's going down like that through the 0, 0. Okay, and the last one here, that see how now this one, it's not in the y equals format, so I'm going to change it. So what I'm going to do is I move that over so that it's in y equals format. So when I move a -4x over, it becomes a +4x and +5. So say it's written like that, I have to be careful. The b value or the slope is actually 4, and the number by itself is the a value, which is 5. So just remember the green A is the y-intercept and B is the slope. Okay, so it's asking me to write down the equations of these straight lines, so we're just going to make sure that we understand. So if I was writing this one out, y equals 9 plus 6x, very easy. Y equals 2 minus 5x, and y equals negative 3 plus 2x. Okay, so these are, this is our B values, and these are our C values. Okay, just need to get really familiar with it because we are changing the letters around on you. It's a bit, we're just trying to get it in your head to remember that. Okay, so if you're asked to sketch this graph, so we're asked to sketch the graph of 8 plus 2x. So you know 8 is the y-intercept. So what they've done is they've gone over to they've drawn their set of axes. So first you just draw some 2 lines, and we see how we're just doing the positive area. That's all I want you to do. I don't need to see the other bits now. We're probably, most of our graphs and nearly all your graphs next year will just be in this area with the positive y, positive x spot. Okay, so when we go to sketch it, the first thing we're going to do, get the y-intercept. So you know, here's the y-intercept. So they've gone and drawn that on the graph. So you just go up. It doesn't have to be scaled. You just go, right, that's where I'm drawing it, and I'm saying that that's 8. Okay? Now, I can see that the slope is 2. Can you see that? That's the B value. So the slope, the B value is 2. So if I could write the number 2 at like 2 over 1. So you can use that, and you can use this rise over run method. So from your 8, what you do is you go up a rise of 2. What would a rise of 2 take you to? What number would I be on? From 8 up 2 would be 10. And then you can go over a run of 1. So I'll just go over 1, and I could draw another point. So I could say I'm at 1 and y is 10. Once you draw those 2 points, then you can just draw your graph. You can just draw your line in. So off you go and do it in like that. What they did, they subbed in a point a bit further on. Doesn't matter. You can do it like that. Or we could do, we've done the y-intercept, and say we've got a value out here. Say we know that x is 5. What they did is they took the rule and they subbed in 5 where they saw x, and they got 18. So that's how they got that point. As long as you got 2 points, you line it up, you draw it, you'll get the same line. Okay.